Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning, good afternoon, or indeed good evening, and welcome to a new series here on Pit Road Productions. We are here for the Shop versus Shop series. Ladies and gentlemen, some sim racing studios all across the Americas are going to be taking part to see who's got the fastest driver, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, it's going to be an absolute belter of a series. My name is Daniel Zippy Salmon, and joining me in the booth today, the one and only Mr. Morgan Smith. Now, Morgan, I do understand yourself, you are familiar with GT3 cars, and certainly Spa. That's got to be a good track for you. Certainly it's on my Princess Approved track list. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts, though.
Absolutely, Zippy. I'm very excited here to have Spa as the first race of the season. In my opinion, as being a GT driver, we have a lot of typical tracks on the service that people like to lean on for, to kind of kick the series off. I think Spa is a good change of pace for that. It's a competitive track. A lot of people know every inch of the track, so I expect it to be a good track for these drivers to kind of feel each other out and get a bearing on each other because, as we said, everyone really, kind of knows their way around Spa, so it's going to get competitive.
Yeah, certainly. It's definitely one of those tracks as well where these guys are racing at the sim centers as well. Everybody has the same I rating. Ladies and gentlemen, 1350 I rating. We have got no idea who is going to stand out in this crowd. Certainly, I do hear there's some pretty potent drivers, and all of the names are unfamiliar to us, so it's definitely going to be a learning experience for us as well. But I've got to say, absolutely incredible grid, ladies and gentlemen. We've got almost a 30-car grid. And I do hear we have more sim centers wanting to get involved as well. Before we get too excited, Morgan, let's take a look at indeed where we're going to be going. We're starting off here with round 1 at Spa before we head over to Le Mans for round 2, another iconic track. Suzuka for round 3, home of the Japanese Grand Prix, before heading to round 4 of Daytona. Personally, one of my favorites as well. Algarve for round 5 before we head it off the final round. Reese, you know how I feel about this particular venue. It's Road Atlanta for round 6. But what I gotta say, what an absolutely fantastic series this is going to be. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited at home. And we may indeed be actually playing in the sim centers across America right now. So I've got to say, that's incredible. Certainly an unusual feeling. But let's see if we can find a driver here to get an onboard lap with. And look at that. We've got Justin Reese. Do the honor, sir.
Well, we'll wait for Reese to get here, but I myself, Morgan, I am a big fan of the BMW personally, so we're going to go in here to this tight right-hander. It's important to make the most of it, but you can get a little hairy on the exit with this curb on the left, so he plays it safe there and sets up a good line up and down up over the hill here. With these GT3 cars, especially in the fixed layup, Zippy, they are going to have enough downforce to be almost, if not flat out for this. So it's going to be exciting, not a lot of room to go too wide when the pedal's to the floor the whole time. I think with the amount of downforce these fixed setups are going to be carrying around Spa, we're going to see a lot of action in the high-speed flowing corners of Spa tonight, so it's going to be good. Down here, we use this white line on the track for a good braking reference and the curb on the left there. We can take some of the curb on the right. The one on the left here is more dangerous. We want to not be too greedy there and set ourselves up for a good right-hander so that we have all the pace downhill here into this big brake zone. That's a big passing point on Spa here at this carousel. A lot of people like to try and sneak inside you, so it's important to get your exit right on the turn before. Coming down here into this open left, just kind of with the elevation change in the track and this little divot here, the car can be unsteady and you can run wide out into the dirt and lose a lot of time. So that's also an important corner. This one, everyone's favorite. Coming down here, you need to drop one gear, lean in, let it roll for a while and get back in it as soon as possible and try to get your nose pointed around. This curb on the right, if you go too far outside there, is quite the menace to deal with, unfortunately. So we're going double third gear. The first one is a little bit faster. The left one tightens up a little bit, and you do need to stay to the left of the track to set up this next right-hander, which is super important for this back straight on Spa, Zippy. So from here on, we are flat out all the way up till before the finish line.
Absolutely fantastic stuff here, as indeed you can see he's now making his way down one of the most important drafting parts of the track, making his way down towards turn 17, ladies and gentlemen. Francorchamps, that's it just here. The left-hander doing almost 150 miles an hour. There you go, round he goes. The car can get incredibly light there as they head down towards the final chicane. It's turns 18 and 19. Certainly an incredible passing opportunity there. As already we've got discussion here in the chat. Jake Enns has rejoined us, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly Pit Road Productions' biggest fan, as well as we have a new chat here. Spontaneous Bros 1337. Certainly that is an old school gamer, ladies and gentlemen. They know exactly the significance of 1337. It means elite, and indeed he's cheering on Flow State, boys.
Always good to have people in the chat chiming in, getting opinions. A lot of the guys that are in chat are racers themselves usually, and just not on track, or family and friends of those on track. So it's good to be able to take something like, you know, what we consider a simulator, a video game of sorts, and to be able to connect it and have people outside of that enjoy it as well with us. So we're happy to be able to bring the broadcast here, and it should be an exciting kickoff to the season.
Absolutely, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Indeed, we've got 6 different shops taking part here, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, as well, our first broadcast with these guys as well. Behind the scenes, definitely been a little bit challenging at times, but fair to say, we've got there in the end. And these guys are only getting 2 laps of qualifying as well. And definitely, we're gonna have to get used to them. But right now, the quickest person on the track, and I'm very happy to say, they're in an Aston Martin, ladies and gentlemen. It's Kevin Desnoyers, and he's currently got a 2:16.59. He is about 8 tenths of a second clear, sorry, 6 tenths of a second clear of Edwin Honorary. I apologize at this point if I do make a hash of any names. By all means, let's get them amended for the second show. But Edwin is currently there in P2, and we have a cheer already as well from Brandon. But let's go Team Oasis. I'm sure we can find one of those paints in here somewhere.
It is definitely exciting for this series to be shop versus shop, Zippy. We're always used to kind of attaching and getting to know the drivers, which of course we will do here. This is going to be night 1, so a lot of learning to do about who and how they do on track. But the team battle is very exciting for me with the setup shop versus shop. I'm extremely excited to see, you know, who has the wherewithal in the cars of their choice in a fixed setup, nonetheless, to come out. Having all of the knowledge they do to really just rely on their driver skill to get it done.
Well, I gotta say, I'm so sorry, Morgan. It's force of habit. Certainly, usually, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Reece Gardner in the booth, but we did want to try and give Morgan Smith a little bit more seat time behind the mic. And indeed, we've already got more activity happening in the chat. Guys making an appearance, by all means, hit the subscribe button for us. Definitely help us there. More team cheering as well. We got that blue FRS. Good choice of car, sir. Let's go Team Pixel Speed. Kevin and Edwin sitting at the top. So Pixel Speed obviously coming in, as indeed Kevin's gone even faster with a 2:16.15. That's over a second clear of the competition. We're starting to see a couple of the favorites here as well. And Lego Bros 912, go Taylor for Team Pixel Speed as well. So certainly Pixel Speed definitely getting a little bit of traction here on Pit Road Productions. 47 people watching, holy shit.
A 2:16.1 Zippy is definitely bringing a lot of pace to Spa in a fixed setup. So Kevin means business out front, and I expect the rest of the drivers to be following suit and having something to learn tonight if he's putting down 2:16s out there.
It just keeps getting bigger. Morgan, we got more in the chat. Superlap Berkeley, Michigan. Let's go team. We got Ian Flowstate. Well, I know who he's cheering for. That Man Cave Racer, Cody Haygood. I've seen that name before. I know I've seen Cody before. I have a feeling I may have seen him in Podium 1. Might have been in Season 1 of Podium 1. But indeed, it looks like qualifying has indeed come to an end, ladies and gentlemen. But I've got to say, absolutely fantastic stuff. I'm 46, 47 people watching. That's... I mean, I'm glad you're here for the racing, because you sure aren't here for me and Mo.
I was gonna say it's my first official. I've been a substitute teacher for quite a while now, but this is my first official gig here. So you know, I'm flattered and happy to be a part of it. We've had on screen a little bit, Zippy, this Aston Martin. I do want to say with the fixed setups, we're gonna see a little bit difference in the cars that are gonna find different capabilities, or you know, have the edge at certain tracks. If we were to be in open setups, the Aston Martin may not actually be at the top of the list these days with the current setup in the BOP in iRacing, but with a fixed setup, this thing hangs on and has a ton of grip. So it is very competitive, as well as the Mustang as well. So I expect some front engines along with the BMW that I'm a fan of myself. Some front engine dominance right now with the current iRacing setup.
But certainly one thing you do know for sure, Morgan, is driving these GT3s. So we see Kevin Desnoyers there taking it down pit road. Certainly I'm not expecting to see any pit stops today, but should we do, it should be an absolute hoot. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. And indeed, we've got quite the eclectic arrangement as well of manufacturers here. I mean, we've got everything from Aston Martin, Ford, Chevrolet, we've got Porsche, we've got Lamborghini, we've got McLaren, Audi, BMW. I'm pretty sure we might even have them all. There is one Mercedes at the back of the field as well. But Morgan, I have a feeling it may be the first time. I think we've actually got them all.
Yeah, I think honestly, just no Acura, Zippy, but it is great. It is great after my front engine comment to see we got Corvettes next to each other in 3rd and 4th right now in qualifying. Also to note, we do not have a Porsche until we go down past 10th place into 13th, 15th, and 16th where the Porsches lie. So maybe a little difficulty, maybe just the track conditions for the Porsche. We're not quite sure. We'll see once we get out there. And, they could have also just had bad laps in qualifying, Zip.
Well, one thing I have noticed in as well, and I'm eating my words a little bit here because it was quite stressful getting the show going. But I gotta say, Morgan, look down into the race chat. For the first time ever, we've actually got 5 drivers in there who, if they're in there, they're fair game. That's the way I see it. So certainly Morgan, pick a driver. We'll have a shout with them in a minute. But before we do, let's go over the grid. Kevin Desnoyers takes the pole for the first race here, with Edwin Onofra in second. Matej Georgiou, I do apologize if I made a hash that. By all means, correct us here in the chat. He's there in 3rd place with Ryan Hennepin in 4th. Noah Gill takes 5th with Cody Hager. Already got a cheer in the chat. He's there in 6th with Boyd Thomas in 7th and Matthew Baker in the Lamborghini in 8th. Max Quinones, he takes 9th with Justin Roof, rounding out your top 10.
Moving to 11th place, we have Caleb Gray. Next to him in 12th, we have Ian Harris. 13th place, we have Ryan Oliver. Next to him is Jonathan Poison. Cody Johnson in 15th. And to his side is going to be Otaniel Figueroa.
Figueroa, I apologize. That's probably quite small on your screen here. Carry on.
Oh, we're okay. We're working through it. 17th is Nathan Block. 18th, Mr. Carson. 19th place behind them, we have Chad Cornett and Archie Wood in 20th next to him. Kyle Ilgen-Frizz and Dalton Etzel in 21st and 22nd. And lastly, we have 23rd and 24th for Dan Pancoast and Tyler Cornett. So looking in the chat in the available drivers, I think we should talk to Tyler Cornett being in the back of the grid. Ask him about his qualifying, see if he has any master plans here.
Before you do, we'll just finish off. Taylor Atkinson's in 25th with Andrew Way in 26th. Rodney Gibson there in 27th. And it looks like Eric Hamilton has not taken to the grid, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to see here. Certainly, indeed it is, as these guys are indeed gridding. But yeah, by all means, who did you want to grab there? Kyle, you said?
Tyler Cornett.
Tyler Cornett, indeed. There we go. Tyler, can you get a mic check here? Are you there, sir? I'm seeing him light up, but I'm getting no voice. Tyler, we're going to leave you to it. Good luck in the race, though, and hopefully we'll catch up with you a little bit later on.
And it looks like we are off for
Oh my gosh, the chat.
Short pace section here. I love the pickup truck out front. It looks like we do have some team organization, a couple blue cars and a couple gray Corvettes matching there in the second row. So I'm eager to see the team tactics come to a head right in the first lap, right off the green flag.
Well, certainly Pixel Speed seems to be the dominant force to be reckoned with right now. Certainly the Oasis Sim Racing cars. You can see that's one of the Aston Martins there. I believe that's Cody Hager. He's currently there rocking P5, P6 indeed. What we are going to do for the next round, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get it so the timing tower lights up with the color of the driver you're supporting. But it's going to be up to Kevin Desnoyers now to get this race underway. The debut race here of Shop versus Shop. And already we got a little bit of carnage happening in the back there. I'm going to say 3 wide is definitely an unusual grid. And Cody Hager's getting a little bit hot there. That's the Aston Martin takes it away with Kevin Desnoyers making their way down towards turn 1, 3, 4, potentially 5 wide as they make their way round. This could end in absolute chaos, and indeed it does. Ladies and gentlemen, what is, oh my gosh, it's a parking lot here at turn 1.
Oh my goodness, Max Quinones was able to make the most of it and move up to P3. Looks like a lot of the drivers managed to get away there without too much trouble, but not off to a good start, Zippy. Maybe just a little bit of nerves on the starting board.
Well, you can see that Ian Harris has picked up a meatball flag, and that will take a look at the replay a little bit later. But already, even 3 Pixel Speed cars now are looking to make a breakaway, and indeed they're pretty happy about it, having a little bit of a celebration there going down the straightaway as they make their way down towards the left-hander. Pixel Speed currently leading right now, though. I've got to say, Max Quinones, he's currently up 6 positions here in that McLaren. Caleb Gray, he's up 6 positions as well. Looking at his paint job, I'm not sure. I would guess Oasis Sim Racing, but right now as well, it looks like Ryan Oliver applying a bit of pressure back here in the Porsche.
Yeah, it looks like the Corvette lost his buddy that he started next to and is quickly under some pressure here from this Porsche. So hopefully he can get those tires sorted out. I did see him take a little bit of sand earlier, so I think he just needs some time to settle in. Myself, Zippy, you know me, the Lamborghini, that's my go-to, that's my girl. I'm excited to see one out there. We don't always have Lamborghinis to watch, so I'm excited to see him compete and see what he can do in the fixed Lambo tonight.
Well, certainly incredible action indeed. You see the iRacing sim racing cars there. There is a Mustang that's going to be driven by Noah Gill. He's currently got a little bit of pressure there. Actually, no, that's not Noah Gill. That is indeed Nathan Block, who's currently getting pressure here from Noah Gill. A couple of drivers having a couple of issues there. Rodney Gibson a little bit further back. Let's find out. Oh dear. A little bit of a scenic detour for Rodney, and indeed a slowdown being currently served by Cody Hager there just well. Ian Harris still with that meatball flag. Obviously, something has happened with that BMW, and oh dear, right front corner is fair to say it is a little bit more than cosmetically challenged. It's mechanically challenged here as we have a battle happening. That is one of the iRacing sim racing cars. Indeed, challenge from behind from Street Knights.
Yeah, a couple of McLarens here, Zippy. I know they are an approved car on your list as well as the Track Knight. So Max Quinones has one up in third place. Doesn't look like he's able to hold on quite to the pace on the first lap, but maybe once the tires come to temperature, we'll find some light in the McLarens tonight.
I've got to say some very respectful driving there as Dan Pancoast is able to find his way ahead. Tyler Atkinson currently in that Porsche. He's a hard charger in the field. Up 10 positions. And something has happened with Matthew Baker. He's brought it down pit lane. Fair play to him. And indeed, Cody Haggard has picked up a black flag as well. I have a feeling he maybe didn't serve a slowdown quick enough and indeed has been penalized. But right now, Kevin Desnoyers is currently leading the charge. He's managed to clear his teammate by about a second. And indeed, Max Canoes is there in third as well. Further back, though, the closest battle on the track right now is indeed between the Corvette and indeed the Porsche, Antonio Figueroa Sr. versus Matai Giorgioi.
I did see in chat Otaniel Figueroa, as you say. He goes by OT, so we do have a nickname for him that is a little bit more manageable, so we appreciate the looking out in the chat for that.
Well, indeed, OT is going to be looking to score a little bit of OT here if he can find his way ahead. But right now, he's feeling all sorts of pressure from the Chevrolet. That is Matai Giorgioi, who goes up on the inside, and that is a Lamborghini off. Sorry, Morgan, that's not Porsche view. It's Jonathan Brasson there, taking a little bit of a scenic route through the sand.
No, she's a hard beast to tame. I know, especially on the brakes, trying to trail brake a little bit and carry that braking in through the corner in the Lamborghini, it can come unsettled. So honestly, no surprise there. Doesn't matter who's behind the wheel. She's just kind of a monster, and she gets like that sometimes. So.
Well, you can see there, it goes down to the braking zone, has a little bit of a contact there with the Mustang. It's fair to say had a little bit of help. That is for Northwestern Sim, ladies and gentlemen, taking a little bit of a detour through the south.
Mustang doing Mustang things, Zippy.
Best part about this is I'm not driving one, so I can by all means shoot shots as much as my heart desires. But something has happened here with Matai, and indeed he's taking a little bit of a scenery. The Corvette deciding to debunk its horns there as they're trying to find his way back onto the track, leaving a beautiful imprint in the sand in the meantime. But right now, Andrew Way here is incredibly close, and I got to say these guys may indeed be teammates here. We'll try and get a better view here. It's Street Knights, ladies and gentlemen. The Street Knights drivers are indeed trying to find their way forward. Dan Pankos ahead, and indeed the iRacing sim racing driver Carlson Schullenberger trying to apply a bit of pressure from behind. Oh dear, Corvette is gone.
Oh man, we're going to need a replay on that. That car does look like it's going to need some pit crew attention there. I think with this many guys on battles, yeah, the curb, the white line on the side has. It's kind of like a real life road where it's kind of got a tilt to it. So as soon as you go over the white line, the road's a different angle. That kind of looked like a little bit of like.
I think he had damage. Watch again. I think he had damage at the back.
Jeez.
Yeah, no rear wing. That's why he lost it. Look.
Oh man.
Ouch. Well, that'll do it. Oh, definitely an unfortunate start for him. Meanwhile, though, Kevin Zasnoyes has gone and posted a 216.64. Nothing wrong with that in the slightest. What we might do is start catching up with a few of these drivers in a few minutes. So let's go and take a look here at the battle for P3 right now. It's between Ryan Hennepin and indeed Max Quinones.
Hennepin has been catching him slowly since the start of the race. Quinones was unable to hang on for P1 and P2 in draft, so it's been an opportunity for Hennepin, and I think this is going to be a big battle for the third spot. Hennepin's in a good spot to save a lot of fuel in the first half of this race, Zippy, so as long as he can keep the car together and stay on the rear bumper of that McLaren up under the wing, I think he's in good shape.
Yeah, certainly as a guy who's driven both of these cars, Morgan, out of the two, I know it's not a Lamborghini, but which one do you think would be better suited to Spa?
So I think right now, actually, the Corvette is a very strong pick. However, I do also think that it requires a little bit more seat time to get used to it. I think the McLaren's a little bit easier to kind of jump into it and wrestle around the track and find a little bit of time here and there. But I do know guys that put the time in the Corvette can really compete in that car. So it absolutely does have what it takes to be one of the top cars with the right driver behind the wheel.
It certainly does. And indeed, Man Cave Racer, I recognize you actually. You have been on Podium One because I remember you did a video. Remind me what your name was, because I definitely remember that name. But meanwhile, let's take a look here. What's happening with Noah Gill? It looks like he's applying a bit of pressure here to Nathan Block just ahead. This is Oasis Sim Racing, and I'm trying to think who they're going up against here. Noah Gill here. We'll try and work out who indeed he is driving for. Flow state, there you go.
Very respectful, giving each other a lot of space through the hairpin there.
I'm definitely looking forward to the update where I color the cars. It's going to make our life so much easier, Morgan. Indeed, I'm going to get that worked on for the next round. But these two guys still going side by side, and I got to admit, that is a beautiful AMG we've just seen. About time we saw one of those. But I have to admit, if these guys, there we go. I was going to say, these guys who get side by side through Rouge, I've got to say credit to them. It's not usually going to work out in your favor, but certainly taking this more strategic approach there was Nathan Block, who's currently there in P9 and up 8 positions on the day. Noah Gill currently down 3.
As we just discussed with Hennepin, you know, with the gap in front of this Mustang here from Noah Gill to the next driver, there's not much to be gained ahead of him. So I don't think it's a bad spot to settle in behind him and save some fuel here till the pit stop.
Definitely not. Let's find out exactly what happened to Kyle here, one of the Flow State drivers. Everything's looking good, goes through the chicane. Little bit of a tap. Oh, friendly fire, gents. And I've got to say, good recovery there. Great recovery from Kyle Ilgenfritz.
Yeah, way to keep that under wraps. That was a great recovery. That's a tough spot of the track.
It does look like we got a freeway battle going on here, and the Flow State driver Tyler Cornett is indeed going to be the camera car for that. And I believe, let's try and get him on the mic again, see if we can grab him here. Tyler, have you got a mic check, sir? I got none. Morgan, you got anything?
No, unfortunately not.
No. Tyler, we'll leave you to it. You definitely got your hands full, but certainly we'd love to hear from you. Good luck having a fight with these guys.
Thanks.
Oh, did you hear him then?
Yep.
I heard you then. What was that, Tyler?
I said thanks, man. My mic was muted last time you guys came in.
There you go. All right, we're going to try not to distract you too much. Obviously, you can see that you've got your hands full. You've chosen the BMW here for Spa. How do you find its feeling in comparison to the other cars in the field?
Man, this is my first time, like, riding in the BMW. Usually I do the Porsches, so this is a little different for me. But I don't know what else to say about it, man. It's a little different, running behind, but I'm here.
Well, right now, Tyler, I can tell you're currently up 6 positions on the day. You got Justin Roof about 0.3 of a second behind you. On the last lap, he was quicker by 2 seconds. Do you think you're going to be able to hold up the number 7?
Ooh, most likely not, if I'm being completely realistic, but I'm going to try my best and see what I can do.
Well, my solid advice for you to be, sir, part of success is believing you're going to succeed. But saying that, I can believe that, oh my gosh, what's her name? What's the one I really, really like, Morgan? He was on American Idol, or whatever her name is. Sofia Vergara.
Sophia?
Yeah, that's exactly. He knew where this was going.
I'll never forget.
I believe that Sofia Vergara, I believe I have the confidence to make her a happy lady, but that doesn't mean she's going to say yes. And indeed, the pun absolutely ruined. But Tyler, we're going to leave you to it. Indeed, apply a good bit of pressure here. Try and stay in the slipstream, and we wish you the best of luck here. And congratulations on joining Shop versus Shop.
Thank you.
Well, he's sweating.
Yeah, if this driver is really put down a 2-second quicker lap, you know, maybe something happened to Tyler on that lap, but it's not a bad thing to follow a quicker driver. I have been chasing my own teammates on my sim team, Zippy, for multiple years, and I continue to learn every day. So it's always beneficial to settle in behind a faster driver if they do have the pace. Maybe they'll tow you up to the next pack. Maybe you'll learn a new line. They're even driving the same car, so I'm not sure what the difference with that 2-second lap was, but if that is the case, it's a lot to learn, and that's going to be a great spot for him.
Well, certainly, I know the drivers that you're on about, and indeed, the likes of Austin Diltz and Parker Dime are a force to be reckoned with, and you can go tell them that I said that on stream, Morgan, because certainly we actually want to get a couple of them in the booth, actually. Is it Parker or Austin? Austin we want to get in the booth. Certainly Kyle Mills as well, making it into the booth. Morgan's Own Sim Team WBM, we build memories as well. Definitely very potent in a GT3 field. We've got to say, Morgan, not the quickest of the lot. Sorry, buddy. But indeed, it looks like Kyle Elgin Frizz definitely having a little bit of a battle here. Indeed, with Chad Cornett, he's also available. Looks like the Flow State guys really representing here in the voice comms. But I've got to say, we want to see them moving their way up a little bit further in the standings. Because right now, Kevin Noyes, he's pretty much running away, but he's setting 2:16.3s. He's gapping, guys.
That's flying, Zippy. On the current tire model and on a fixed setup in iRacing right now, that is flying at Spa.
Well, it does look like Caleb Gray has had a little bit of an unfortunate incident. Let's check the replay here and find out what happened to one of the few Audis in the grid. Interesting.
Looks great on the Audi.
Yeah, I personally, I am a big fan of the Audi. It looks like he's already got damage on the right front there, so he must have picked it up a little bit sooner. I'm not seeing where he picked it up, but certainly definitely sustained a little bit of damage to the front of that Audi.
I'm just looking through the battles. With this many guys on track, we are going to have battles to watch top to bottom here. We are on with Nathan Block. Looks like he's taking the... Oh, he was going to take the outside inside into the carousel. It is not... I would say, argue here, Zippy, there is not two lines confidently available in the carousel if you want to maintain race pace. So, especially when you need a good setup into this left-hander for this big straight downhill. Now, touching that sand, Zippy, does always impact you. So that car behind does have a good run right now. Noah Gill setting himself up here, carrying a lot of pace down here into the double left.
But certainly this corner in particular here, I watched some of the really quick drivers. Indeed, going into that, they will have the right wheels dipping the wheel on the curb. And myself always found it made the car a little bit unstable. Certainly Spa on the Princess approved track list, but right now we're on board with the mighty Mustang here of Noah Gill. He's going up against another Mustang, and Nathan Block, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, we got Flow State versus Oasis Sim Racing on this occasion. But who will emerge victorious? Archie Wood rocking an absolutely beautiful Mercedes in the back. Let's try and see who he's running with. That's super lap, ladies and gentlemen. Loving the paintwork.
Yeah, as a painter myself, always good to see a bright and vibrant field here. All of the teams showing up and repping with some good paint schemes. Looks like we have the Lamborghini tucked in right behind, up under the tail of this Porsche.
Indeed, Jonathan Brasson trying to find his way back through the field. Right now, the guy ahead of him is Dalton Edsel. Indeed, he's up 12 positions and is indeed the hard charger in the field. As what a dive there from Jonathan Brasson for Northwest Sim Racing Centers. And indeed, he's managed to get it done going to the chicane. Absolutely phenomenal pass there for the number 23.
Wow, moving his Lamborghini up into the top 10. Confidently flashes his lights and sends it down the inside. Didn't hesitate at all. Stuck it. Everything looked good. So good pass out of Jonathan.
Well, speaking of Northwest, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we've got a little bit of team camaraderie going on. We have a pair of Corvettes, ladies and gentlemen, between them. That is 16 cylinders of pure American muscle, and indeed, phenomenal noise. I am a fan of this generation of Corvette, but right now, it's not over for him. Ryan Oliver is lurking behind, and I do believe he is rocking. That's a Super Lap team, I think.
Yeah, it does look similar, just in blue instead of green.
That's it. Man K Racer, Matt Hollinger. I knew that I knew your name. Matt, welcome to the chat. Good to see you on board. And Haley, I can't give you an average iRating because literally every single person here is racing with a Sim Racing Studio account. So there is 0 iRating. So I really couldn't give you an idea. But Pixel Speed has a guy around 6K, so probably anywhere around that. Wow. Okay, I have a feeling I know who that might be. Actually, Kevin Desnoyers, I'm sure I've seen him before. He does sound familiar.
I wasn't going to be the messenger, but I am a GT driver myself, and I have met the gentleman a day or two in the past, and
he's quick, isn't he?
He is usually exactly where he is right now. Multiple seconds ahead of every other driver.
Well, indeed, Pixel Speed bringing in the pro on this occasion. As we've got Oasis Sim Racing there, that's going to be either Reed or Wyatt there. Again, a huge thank you to you guys for making this happen. Indeed, right now, Boyd Thomas is working together here with teammate Ryan Hennepin. And these guys currently rocking a P4 and P5 in the Corvettes. I honestly think it's a solid technique here. The Super Lap car of Ryan Oliver, he's just about out of the draft. He's 2 seconds back as Max Quinones bring it down pit road. Are we expecting a pit? I mean, it's a 40-minute race. I wouldn't rule it out, but definitely another thing to think about here for strategy is one of the pixel speed cars makes it down pit road.
I'm not quite sure what the fuel limit is on, kind of how much fuel they let the cars carry in this league, if it is truly just fixed. But I would say it would be open for pits right now. Potentially maybe just didn't like where he was on track or the drivers he was around, or maybe had too much clean air to push and was hoping to come out and find some, find a spoiler to get under and save some fuel for the second half of the race.
Well, certainly we are hearing a little bit of information in the chat. Lego Bros, Kevin is 8K, I think. That explains a lot. Absurd levels are good from Drive CC Drive. I have to wonder if you got anything to do with Volvos by chance, because they had the caption there of Drive as well. And Haley in there, I mean, high 15s on Spa is top split. Oh, what's Kevin running? Kevin's currently running the 16.14, but I can definitely believe he's top split. I know I've seen that name before, but right now, oh dear, that's contact there for Archie Wood in the aim. He just gets a little bit too close there to the back of Nathan Block, and indeed the front bumper sustaining a little bit of damage there, but Nathan Block, though, still able to get away. He's about a second clear, but is it going to be enough? Meanwhile, further back, Caleb Gray applying a good amount of pressure here to Kyle Engelfritz as he goes to make the move here in the Audi. It's going to be, I believe, Oasis Sim Racing versus Flow State.
Yeah, Flow State with a lot of cars here around this Oasis. Audi. Wow, tucking the nose right in. These guys have nothing, no space between these cars.
Yeah, you couldn't have fit cigarette paper in that gap. Indeed, it was a little bit snug for comfort, but right now, fair play. The Audi is indeed holding on. Probably one of the more temperamental cars in the field. Certainly, actually, you used to drive that. That's how I know that, Reese. Morgan. Damn it. That's how I know that, Morgan, because certainly the only time I'd ever beat you is when I'd watch you yeet it off about 7 laps in. We're currently in lap 8, so I have a feeling that Caleb Gray has already done the Audi thing and is now looking to recover from said motion.
Yep, everyone's got at least one in them. So it looks like he got his out of the way early, and he's going to be clear skating from here on out. The Audi's going to have no issues, I promise.
Well, bold claims there by the one and only Mr. Morgan Smith, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, you can see here, checking in near the front of the pack in third place. Boyd Thomas still working together here with Ryan Hennepin. It's good to see these Northwestern drivers are indeed able to have a strategy. And I love the fact they got 2 cars the same as we see another pit there. That's Ryan Oliver in the number 02, bringing it down pit road.
Looks like he had enough of chasing the 2 Corvettes, fell out of draft, and decided it was best to come in and get fuel and find another strategy for the second half of the race. Usually when you have drivers fighting like that or close together on track, you can expect the drivers to be fighting and try to make the most of an opportunity. But with those 2 Corvettes being teammates, they were kind of locked in and driving away from the Porsche in that situation. So he takes an early pit here to figure it out.
Yeah, I definitely think pit's got to be part of it. We're seeing too many of these guys come down pit road, and I'm not seeing enough black flags to suggest a penalty as OT. Yeah, OT? Is this OT? My apologies here. It's always the same. Every new series, it takes us a little bit to get broken in, ladies and gentlemen. But we've got more cheers for flow speed, for pixel speed even, going in there. Ian Flow Stater as well. Wowzers, guys! I'm absolutely blown away with the amount of attention this is getting. We've got 55 people currently in the chat. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's great to see it. I think it just kind of goes to show the impact that these shops have on our sim community and how many drivers they really impact for them to be out here racing and all the drivers to come out and support. So I think it's great that we have so many people watching. I know the guys are going to love to be able to watch this back. The ones that are on track, they're going to thoroughly enjoy seeing all the support in chat as well. So I love that and keep up the energy, and I hope we see you guys every week.
Oh, we are, Morgan, we're going to have a 6-week series, and I believe it's going to be either 2 weeks or 4 weeks between seasons. Certainly, get used to seeing these guys here on Pit Road Productions. Certainly, I'm very much happy to have these guys on board. Indeed, more shows coming to Pit Road Productions as well. Keep your eye out, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, I've got to say, Taylor Atkinson, he's in the Porsche, and he appears to be working with his McLaren comrade. Both of these Pixel Speed drivers, I've got to say, Pixel Speed, you guys showing up in force and with some dominance. And can we get Boston in here? Boston, Massachusetts. Indeed, that's one thing we do want to add as well. We want to see some geographical locations here, try and get these shops, and indeed add a little bit more rivalry to the show.
Absolutely. In my honest opinion, I do take a liking to the blue as well. So these gray cars are nice and clean, but the blue, they stand out a little bit, and that's my style. So they also showing up in numbers and also helping the grid look good is always a big feature.
Well, I've got to say, I'm absolutely loving the teamwork here from Boyd Thomas and Ryan Hennepin. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And indeed, Noah Giltz decided to bring it down pit road as well. He's in one of the Flow State Mustangs, as is Nathan Block there. He's currently representing Oasis Sim Racing. They're currently out there in, there we go. I knew I forgot to put something up. They're currently out there in Texas, I believe, as well. So certainly, if you're out in Texas, go see Oasis Sim Racing. See another driver. Oh dear. I don't know if he's going to get away with that.
I don't know if that's illegal or as illegal as you think at Spa, honestly. I think that might be okay, Zippy.
Well, we're going to find out here in just a second. Certainly, unsafe pit entry is something the iRacing stewards are pretty passionate about, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, Tyler Cornett may find himself with a black flag. I don't know if it's going to trigger on entry. It may trigger on his way up, but keep an eye there. Certainly, the number 13 car could be finding himself in a little bit of hot water. But right now, I've got to say, Boyd Thomas and indeed Max Cano's there. Sorry, Boyd Thomas and Ryan Hennepin still currently rocking together with the BMW of Justin Roof about 2 seconds back. Meanwhile, though, Matthew Baker. Here we go. We've got a battle emerging. This is indeed between one of the Pixel Speed cars, and I believe that's Super Lab there getting in on the mix as well. Ooh.
Wow, both drivers doing their best there, but both of them laid on the brakes and hard to keep it under wraps. Ooh, the Porsche pulling up a little bit, showing a little bit of respect to the Lamborghini, so there's no major incident. Lamborghini with his head down deep into the brake zones, making the most of it, has a little opportunity to put some air between them now as well, Zippy.
Yeah, certainly, you've got to wonder as well. The Porsche really, really good in the braking zones, but certainly with Spa having so much of the track being flat out, definitely going to be a little bit more of a challenge. It does tell me, though, Kevin Desnoyers has brought it down pit lane. Your race leader, and indeed his teammate, Edwin Onofre, finding his way down about 11 seconds afterwards.
Boyd Thomas and Ryan Hennepin with these Corvettes are driving 2 3/10 off each other's bumpers, locked in like a couple of, honestly, like some fighter jets.
Well, we're going to put that thought on hold right now, because indeed we've got a battle happening for P11, and currently it's Noah Gill leading the charge. Archie Wood is right behind him. I'd say that right behind him. He's looking to try and make some moves here. These guys have been going at it so far a little bit in the race. We've got 2 Super Labs cars, indeed, in the middle, and indeed that is one of the Northwestern ones. That is Andrew Way currently there in that Super Labs car. Is he going to try and make a move on his teammate? He is. I've got to say that is not the strategy I would go for. You guys are on the same team, but it's not just that. It is individual competition as well. They're going to slow each other going down through Blanchimont, and it could catastrophically spin these cars off. Thankfully, able to get through clean with Jonathan Passon lurking in the background. Are we going to see a late move here for the Lamborghini?
Yeah, we've seen some strong passes by Jonathan.
Wow. Spicy.
Wow.
Too
Noah
spicy.
Noah Gill's been a part of a lot of battles tonight. Earlier with the Oasis Mustang, now finds himself being chased by Wood and another driver. So
you have a look here. Just how close did he get on the way in?
Oh, that was a solid two car lengths late, honestly. Well done to keep it under wraps, keep it on the track, and get it pointed in the right direction again.
Yeah, I honestly thought that was about to end in chaos. But indeed, Nathan Block currently going here toe-to-toe with Ryan Oliver. These two guys are battling out a little bit here, and the Mustang, in theory, should be a little bit quicker on the straight, as indeed Noah Gill decides to leave it to it. He's currently further back. Ryan Oliver, though, tucks in behind the Mustang.
The chat and YouTube still showing a lot of support for individual drivers. Archie Wood behind Noah Gill getting some cheers in the chat here, trying to, asking him to stay calm and put his head down. Hopefully we'll be able to make the most of that and get past Noah Gill here. Noah's been doing good here with a lot of battles, like I said, with the Mustang from Oasis, and now finds himself getting chased by Archie Wood. So Noah Gill under constant pressure, having a long 40-minute race.
Yeah, certainly, and I've got to say, it's going incredibly quicker than that. There's a lot going on, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, I wasn't sure what to expect of this. Don't get me wrong, these guys had to qualify to represent their sim center, and indeed, I wasn't quite ready for this level of driving. These guys know what they're doing, and indeed, I was expecting, keen amateurs at best, but I think these guys are all quicker than me. And indeed, the racing action certainly delivering. Kevin Desnoyers, who's definitely no rookie by any means. We recognize that name. We've seen him around. I think somebody's pulled the sheep over someone's eyes on that one and stuck him in there. But certainly, we got Go Taylor for the top 10 for Team Pixel Speed. He is currently in P14. Mr. Taylor Atkinson, car number 1.
Yeah, car 14 in a good spot, not too far behind, looking to find some draft there. It looks like we're on board here with Archie Wood We do have some fans for the green and white Mercedes, and I myself think it's a good-looking car this evening. Really like the mapping on that green.
Oh, we're going to see a move here from Andrew Way. Indeed, he's getting a little bit close to the back of that Mercedes in the braking zone, but thankfully able to keep it at bay. Certainly the GT3 brakes coming in harsh. Meanwhile, Noah Gill leading that pack. He's managed to pull away another couple of tenths of a second. The Corvettes, though, I've got to say, at this point, I think they're just showboating, doing some beautiful formation lap, and fair play to them. It's paying off. They're currently rocking 4th and 5th consistently. I do have to wonder if we'll see a battle between the two of them in the last few minutes of the race.
Those are GT3 cars, Zippy, and they are very close together. So even if they're best friends and they have the best intentions, when you're driving that close together, you know, you could sneeze and make a mistake that hurts both of those vehicles. So it's high tension, and it takes a lot of skill to keep these two cars that close together moving around the track. So all the power to them. And I myself am a big fan of team driving. I absolutely love when teammates do that. I don't think there's really any problem with it as long as they're not impeding anyone else on track and, you know, doing anything too crazy. So.
Well, certainly you got to wonder here as the Porsche makes his way past the other Porsche. Ladies and gentlemen, that is one of the Pixel Speed cars. That is Taylor Atkinson. He's got some cheerleading section going on in the chat, but indeed, he's managed to make his way past Dalton Edsel, who's currently representing Flow State.
I've done a lot of official racing in GTs this week, Zippy, and one thing I have found with the Porsche, and I do want to chalk it up to driver error before I say this, but sometimes the front tires wear out on me over the course of a GT race. I don't really have, I don't think the calmness I need on the brakes in the Porsche to keep the front tires in check. So do you know if these guys are locked into their vehicle choice for the rest of the season, Zippy?
That is a good question. Certainly one that we'll ask Reed Lincoln should he make his way down into the production booth. But right now, we've got a four-way fight happening indeed. And it's going wrong. It's for P23 as we've got side-by-side here with Matthew Baker and Rodney Gibson. These two guys getting incredibly close. That's going to be one of the Super Lap cars. Looking at the bright pink rear end on that thing. Indeed, the Corvette looking good. As that is indeed a pass being made there almost by Ian Harris in the BMW for Northwestern Sim Centers.
Yeah, Matthew Baker able to make the most of the pass there, and the Corvette showing up some respect. Ooh, the BMW is trying to over-under here. Decides to tuck in the draft. Not a lot of passing opportunity coming into this left-hander, honestly.
Okay, fun stuff there. Richard Swindell's not able to make it into the booth here. Is that BMW trying to make a move around Poilion? And indeed, the cars ahead have spread out a little bit further right now. Rodney Gibson, though, still going toe-to-toe with Ian Harris, fighting for P25.
Looks like we do have a battle up in 8th and 9th place between Noah and Nathan Block. Looks like the Oasis Mustangs back in the picture here in the top 10.
Indeed, looks like Noah Gill actually leading that pack as well. So Mustang, Mercedes, and then McLaren. I've got to say, I'm absolutely loving the variety here. Flow State looking good as well. Some good representation. And indeed, we've got the chat indeed going wild still. I do have to wonder if there's some more of these drivers we can chat to in a minute. As Chad Cornett here, he's got a battle going on with Cody Johnson.
Cody Johnson here in a good spot to take the inside. BMW is probably going to have to think better of it here, and he does. Like I said in the fixed setup, these guys are going to be pretty much flat out. Who do we have here, Zippy? Who's our guest?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Chad Cornett to the commentary booth. Chad, you're currently driving the BMW for Flow State, having a good battle here with Cody Johnson. What's going to be your strategy to get ahead of him before the end of this race? Your mic is muted, sir. If you'd like to hit the unmute button, please try again.
How about now? You got me?
Oh, yes, sir. Welcome back. Chad, what's going to be your strategy here to find your way ahead of Cody Johnson in the 007 Porsche?
Good. Oh, we'll see. Hopefully he runs a little wide on a couple turns and lets me get around him.
Well, certainly, Chad, it's definitely good to have you here in the Pit Road Productions booth. Yourself, though, tell us a little bit about your sim racing experience. Certainly, the GT3s, it's not the easiest car to start with, but certainly a good amount of fun. Tell us your experience so far.
Yeah, it's been a learning curve. I've been doing about, May would be about a year for me with doing sim racing, so I'm fairly new to it. I just switched to the BMW. I drove the Porsche for a little while, but the BMW seems to suit me a little bit better.
What was it about the BMW that you found was more inclined with your driving style?
For me, it just seems to handle a little bit better. It's a little bit more catchable. If the back end starts to kick a little bit, I can catch it quicker.
Well, that is exactly what you're doing right now. That Porsche ahead is Dan Pancos. He just had an off just a moment ago. And we're going to leave you to it, see if you can get a good draft here as you make your way through Blanchimont. And, through Blanchimont? Blanchimont.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah. And indeed, good luck to you. Certainly Chad Cornett, ladies and gentlemen. But we have got Reed Lincoln in here from Oasis Sim Racing. Reed, tell us a little bit more about this series and what we can look forward to here on the Shop versus Shop.
Oh man, we're crazy excited. I've been more stressed watching these guys race than I am in my own races, so that's been fun to deal with. No, we're super excited. This is a great way for just general, walk-in customers to get a taste into competitive racing. So we're super excited to work with some great shops and get these guys the chance to put a real race together. So over the next 6 weeks, we're excited to see the skills improve and see where this leads to.
Yeah, certainly I got a feeling Kevin Desnoyers, who snuck him in there, certainly I would definitely wanted to have him represent me. He's indeed incredibly potent there, fair play to him, and indeed is the pace setter there. Only driver I've seen make it into the 216s, but Reed, I've got to say, for a debut season, the turnout's absolutely incredible indeed. There's a lot of work behind the scenes, but I do hear there's more people wanting to get involved as well, and if they do, what's going to be the best course of contact for them to reach you?
Email's always the easiest for us. Just read at oasissims.com. We've got so many shops that have reached out that want to get in for season 2, so we're incredibly excited and thankful for that. We just want to keep this growing. I mean, multiple leagues and multiple seasons are not out of reach for us, so we're excited to see where we can take this thing.
And certainly on the racing side as well, certainly these guys had to qualify to get these seats. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? Certainly, I know you can speak for Oasis, but what about the other shops potentially as well? What's been like the process if these drivers want to get involved? Because these guys are all racing in their respective sim racing centers, correct?
That is correct, yeah. So each shop was able to do their own qualifying period over about a 3-week period. So here in store at Oasis, we did a hot lap challenge with Coda in the GT3 car. So the top 5 fastest times over 3 weeks made up the team. And then the other shops did something very similar, some racing, some hot lap stuff. But it was a really strong qualifying period. It got really tight and competitive towards the last 2 days.
Well, certainly absolutely fantastic stuff. And I do have a feeling that the fixer may be a little bit light on fuel. We've seen fuel strategy come into play there, as that's a little bit deep there for the Lamborghini of Jonathan Preston. Taylor Atkinson now with an opportunity. Can he get it done? The Porsche right behind of Dalton Edsel potentially going to capitalize on this mistake as they make their way down to turn 1. Edsel showing inclination. Is he going to go for it? Yes, he does. The Porsche in the braking zone. Is he going to be enough? Side by side they go through turn 1. You got to wonder though, through Eau Rouge, are they going to survive? Oh,
Favor the outside line there for that Lamborghini. Zippy, I think he's going to have the run here as he does. So he's going to survive another lap, and Porsche is going to have to find another opportunity and pick another time.
But certainly Reed as well. We've seen you behind the wheel of a GT3 car, certainly in the Podium 1 series. What would have been your choice here for this series? Certainly a good eclectic mix of tracks, but for Spa, I'm not really sure how to call it. What would be your pick of the bunch?
And I'm pretty boring. I'm a die-hard Mercedes guy. It is AMG or nothing for me.
Well, I gotta say, I'm gonna agree with you on that. That's a pretty solid choice. And not only that,
she's done me well over the last couple of years.
Well, fair play to. If you've seen Reed race, ladies and gentlemen, he's potent. He's usually aiming for podiums as well. But certainly right now, Reed, we're gonna leave you to it. It's good to see you in the booth, and by all means, we're looking forward to seeing a little bit more material from you guys as well. Certainly, I do have to wonder, have you got this playing in your sim racing studio right now?
Oh, we got the whole back room is full of lounges rolling. We got some drinks, and we are partying up.
Okay, I like the set. Does that mean we can drink too?
Hey, man, if we gotta have fun somewhere or another. I'm too stressed watching these guys race.
Right, Morgan, get the beer, bud. Get the beer. Just in case, I think it was something saying iRacing. If they see an open container, they'll give you stick. But we're not on camera, so we're good, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, let's have some fun. Ladies and gentlemen, Reed Lincoln there from Oasis Sim Racing Centers. Thanks, Reed.
Appreciate you guys for everything you're doing.
Thank you, sir. You likewise, yourself and Wyatt especially. Wyatt has definitely worked very hard to get this done. But we are going to leave you to it, though, as we've got 5 minutes left of this race, this debut race. Well,
Ryan Oliver here, Zippy, has been trying his best to keep up with Noah after dipping a tire in the dirt and losing his spot, but I fear that the Porsche has met its end with the tires maybe and the pace for Ryan Oliver. He keeps pushing it and running wide a little bit. So Noah Gill able to potentially lock down position 6 here, making up a few spots in the second stint for a big race out of his Mustang.
Well, right now we have another battle emerging. Indeed, it's currently for P10, the last of the top 10. Taylor Atkinson, he's currently up 15 positions. Jonathan Poisson up 3. 3 different sim shops, 3 different drivers. Indeed, Taylor Atkinson currently leading the pack here of, well, these 3 different cars. It's Porsche, Lamborghini, and Porsche. And right now, Atkinson making a breakaway. Poisson, though, going side by side. Dalton Edsel, I'm not sure. I'd try and make a move through Rouge. Backs out of it. Good call. Is he going to make it here on the exit, though? you got to think about the slipstream. Indeed, running a little bit wide there, but able to keep it within track limits. The slipstream will be absolutely huge behind Lamborghini. Is it going to be enough, though, to make his way through and past in the right-hander?
This is the big passing zone coming up. We'll see. Looks like he thought better of it on that one.
Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. We've got multiple battles happening further out. Looks like Caleb Gray now going side by side with OT, ladies and gentlemen. Antonio Figueroa Sr.
In the same spot here, making the most out of this left curb here. So you can also take a lot of the curb on the right there with the extra green section over the sand. Coming into the carousel is a good passing opportunity. Looks like OT is feeling a little bit like his pace is being impeded and wants to say something about it here with his lights.
Well, certainly the old razzle-dazzle is a popular technique. Certainly Rob Campbell will definitely love that. And indeed, Rich Swindell, it's a shame we couldn't get you here in the booth for a little bit. Oh my word. Did you just see what I saw in the background?
Who do we
Looks
got
like
there?
Chad Cornett decided to take the scenic route there, but let me double check that. Somebody just did.
Yeah, I do believe it was him. A few of the BMWs having difficulty tonight. Unfortunate for one of my favorite cars. Wow.
That looked like a lot of fun, though. Here we go. I gotta say, if he hadn't hit the wall, I'd give him style points for that. It was a beautiful drift.
Yeah, if you're either carrying your brake too much into that corner because you're going too quick, or if you're on the gas too early, the change in elevation through the corner can unsettle the back of the car there on almost all the GT3. So.
That was brave.
Wow.
I thought that was going to end in chaos. Dalton Edsel, good intentions, not quite got the execution, but fair play to him. Jonathan Poisson able to hold on to that. That could have been absolute carnage. But meanwhile, let's check in here with Dan Pankos, as indeed looks like Justin Roof just had a little bit of a detour here, as these 2 Super Lab drivers currently battling here for P20.
Coming down into Spa-Francorchamps next to each other, they are going to want to sort this out quick. Yeah, looks like the BMW thought better of it. Not a lot of opportunities left for these guys to make moves here, Zippy. So I'm expecting a wow, these guys really sending it into the last break zone, especially as we're later into the race and the tires are as warm as they are. The guys are feeling confident, but still showing up a little bit late to the apex there.
Well, look behind you, ladies and gentlemen. One of the Northwestern Sim drivers, indeed, is Matej George here. Oh my gosh, George Hoy looking to try and make a comeback here. Indeed, he's down 19 positions. He's got pace. His last lap was 2:17.95 in pace ferry. Actually, he was working about P8, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, he has got some moves behind that Corvette, but is it going to be enough? Certainly, he's applying pressure here behind the two Super Lap drivers of Dan Pankos and Justin Roof. But has he got time here to get it done? As we must be heading towards the final lap. Kevin Desnoy is there. Currently, yeah, he's just got to start finish. This will indeed be the white flag lap.
Yeah, incident-free race from him up front has continued to increase the gap between him and the rest of the field. So.
2:15.98 out of Kevin Desnoyers.
Well, top split is top split. That's what we're aiming for, right? Top 15 or high 15s.
I always thought it was 2:11s, but knowing who Kevin Desnoyers is, if he's doing 2:15s, I'm going to take that as gospel. Right now, you can see here, Matej George starting to get into a fight there. He's almost got Justin Roof dealt with, but not quite got it done. Roof there takes a little bit to the stand. Is that going to be opportunity there for the Corvette, the Northwest Sim Racing Center Corvette there to find his way ahead? Indeed it is. Matthew Baker, though, lurking in the background in that Lamborghini.
That was a good move out of the Corvette there. God, these guys fighting each other every time we get to this break zone, Zippy.
Oh no, he's not got enough fuel. Oh, Jonathan. I'm disappointed in you, my friend. I thought you had that in the bag. You just needed one more lap, as indeed the white flag is waving. Let's see where Kevin Desnoyers is. He's just making his way almost towards the end of the track. I've got to say, clean race from him, representing Pixel Speeds. Indeed, Edwin Onofra, he's had a clean race as well. These guys pretty much just lapping at this point. How about the two Corvettes, though? These guys are spread out by about 5 seconds. It looks like Noah Gill now. It's all right, he's further back. I was all excited then for a second. That indeed is a little bit of lap traffic there, one of the iRacing sim racing cars. But Boyd Thomas there, dropping back behind Ryan Hennepin.
Yeah, that looks to be Nathan Block, who we saw driving with Noah earlier. So must have had an incident and ended up a lap behind, but still on track and looking to finish to get as many points as possible here.
Now let's take a look here at the replay. It's telling us he had a incident as he makes his way down towards the final chicane into the braking zone, and I just slowed it down a lot. That was fine. Must be before then. Well, ladies and gentlemen, round one. It's Spa, and indeed Kevin Desnoyers able to take the race win. Absolutely dominant performance there. If ever there was going to be an iRating that was sandbagged, it would definitely be that one. We know he is an incredibly quick guy. We both recognize him, ladies and gentlemen. Fair to say, I'm sure Reese Garner at Poly Wrestling recognize him as well. Kevin Desnoyers there, absolutely dominant. Getting down to a 2:15.98. Incredible pace from him. Edwin Onofra closely behind in second, but I say closely, 18 seconds behind. Indeed, clean race by him. Ryan Hennepin, he's there running clean as well, up one position on the day as he makes his way around the final turn. Great job done by him. Good job there. Highest place Northwestern Sim Centers as well, with Boyd Thomas bringing it across the line in fourth. Noah Gill about another 14 seconds back. He's representing Flow State, so he'd be the highest ranked Flow State driver. He's going to be there in fifth.
Not a lot of camera time for Andrew Wade tonight, but a good race coming home in sixth place with him between Noah and Ryan Oliver.
Well, you say that. He was actually the hard charger of the race as well. Andrew Way making up 20 positions, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely phenomenal drive by him. Indeed, pace is one thing, but racecraft is something else. Able to make his way up 20 spots is incredible. Ryan Oliver brings it over in seventh. Taylor Atkinson, he brings it across the line in eighth with Dalton Etzel. I gotta say, he was looking pretty spicy near the end of that, trying to get some moves out on the Lamborghini. He brings it over in ninth. As Carlson, Archie, what are you doing? You just lost an extra spot. Has he run out of juice? He's run out of juice. Oh dear.
That just means the guys are out there trying to be as competitive as possible, so I expect it to happen more than in the first race as well.
Archie, what the? He must be out of juice. At the final corner.
Nothing.
Oh, Archie. Oh dear. You know what? That's like he went for a beer and he had like the first 3/4 of an inch was foam. That's what happened with his fuel.
Oh man, he watched like 2 or 3 drivers pass him. That is tough to sit through.
I gotta say, it's an iconic finish. I'll give you that. Fair play to Archie. You know what? You're making memories here in that, but certainly fair play to him. And I gotta say, what a fantastic debut round, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, a huge thank you to all the shops involved. As already, we've got one of the drivers ready for an interview. Look at this. I'm impressed. God, these guys are getting it together. We're gonna get them lined up here. And they've even set their logos as well. Guys, I'm impressed. I'm pleasantly impressed. Let's start with the results, though, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, Kevin Desnoyers is able to take the race win with Edwin Onofra in second. Ryan Hennepin in third with Boyd Thomas in fourth. Noah Gill took fifth with Andrew Way in sixth and Ryan Oliver in seventh. Taylor Atkinson there in the Lamborghini. He took eighth with Dalton Atzel, applying a good amount of pressure, not able to move by further than ninth. Carlson Schullenberger rounds out your top 10.
Archie Wood in his Mercedes in 11th place, followed by Cody Johnson. OT in his Porsche in 13th with Cody Hagood in 14th. 15th was Caleb Gray, Chad Cornett in 16th, followed by Kyle I in 17th. 18th was Matei G, and 19 was Dan Pankos, with 20th place rounding out the top 20 is Justin Ruth.
Interesting. In 21st, Max Quinons, he's ended up going there with Matthew Baker in 22nd. Jonathan Passon moved back to 23rd. That late pit stop certainly costing his Lamborghini in the long run. Ian Harris took 24th with Rodney Gibson in 25th. Tyler Cornett, we got to speak to him earlier. He was in 26th with Nathan Block in 27th with Eric Halsband not taking to the start, ladies and gentlemen. At least I never saw him on the track. I gotta say, it's an interesting first round, ladies and gentlemen. The first ones are always the most challenging. But Morgan, let's see if you actually have spoken to this guy before. It's Kevin Desnoyers, your race winner.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
Good evening, Kevin. I remember racing you very recently, but I won't speak to that. How are you feeling about your event tonight at Spa? How did the Aston Martin and the fixed setup feel, and how do you expect the rest of the series to go for you?
I'm feeling pretty good. The race went pretty smooth. I was a little bit scared at the start because I heard some commotion behind me, but other than that, car felt really good, and the rest of the series I'm feeling hopeful for. I'm not. Algarve is one track that I do not like. That's the one track I do not like. Portimao. But the rest should be good for me.
Yeah, I do think that's one of the exciting things about racing is that you'll have some guys show up on different weeks, and liking and enjoying the track is part of that. How do you feel about let's say on stream we don't have access to iRating, but with your name driving up front there, I will say some guys in the chat were giving us some tips and some hints. So how do you think some of the other drivers are going to be able to get up to pace on some of the tracks? Do you think, like you said, Algarve, maybe you'll struggle for pace and have some stiff competition?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I practiced a lot of this track for Spa last year, so I have a lot of experience. So I think the rest, there's like quite a few draft tracks, so I think there will be people racing me at some point, especially Edwin. I know he's quick, so I expect to see him. And then the rest, they could start grinding, you never know. People start picking up pace. It happens.
Yeah, absolutely. As a GT driver myself, Zippy made some jokes about me and my Audi and my Lamborghini days, but mistakes can happen to anyone out there. So it's always a race from the start to the white and the checkered flag. Zippy, do you have any questions for Kevin?
I'm pretty sure you hit them on the head. Certainly, my biggest question is, how on earth are you that fast? By all means, share your secrets. Indeed, both of us recognizing your name. And I don't drive GT cars often, and I know that I've seen your name before. And indeed, you are way quicker than me. But indeed, a lot of the people in this field were. But certainly, Kevin, an incredible effort. The only guy to make it to the 215s as well, albeit by 200ths of a second. Certainly, we're looking forward to seeing you in the booth once more, and a good representation here for Pixel Speed.
I mean, yeah, it really just takes practice, like the practice you have beforehand, the experience, being comfortable with the equipment, especially going to the sim centers. And I'm not on my home rig. You gotta get comfortable and adapt. So I don't really know what tips I can give. So
certainly, I will take any I can get. Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner, driver of the number 11 car, and indeed the Aston Martin in the field, it's Kevin Desnoyers.
thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have indeed been able to catch up with another one of the Pixel Speed drivers, Edwin Onopera. Please tell me I'm getting your name right. Indeed, there we go, Edwin. There we go. Let's say first time we've seen you here around on Pit Road Productions. Certainly a good effort by yourself, able to get P2. Tell us a bit about your strategy here in the Mustang.
So thank you for having me here. All I did was just stay out of trouble, and you can see clearly by lap 1 how massive of a wreck what happened right there. I got a glimpse out of it from the virtual mirror, and I was like, what in the world happened right there? Okay, go, move. Pixel speed 1, 2, 3, come on, move. We gotta go. We had the advantage right there, and then from there on out, all I did was just try to save a little bit of fuel so that way I could spend less time on pit road. But I think it really did not matter because our pace for our team was really good, and we had ourselves like at least a 10-second lead from P3 onto P4. So we did really good right there. And like I said, all I did was just cruising around, and that felt really good. And I'm pretty proud to have us get a 1-2 finish. I wish I knew more about what happened with Max. He did a really risky move on turn 1 for him to do get 3rd place, and it was at that very last lap that unfortunately we did not get a 1-2-3 finish. But still, it showed how good of a team we have formed up, and I'd like to thank everybody who has made this team, especially Boston. He set up Pixel Speed Racing, and we went ahead and showed dominance this race. Especially thank you to Kevin for winning this race for us.
Well, I've got to say, you guys definitely didn't come in with a subtle effort of pace here. Absolutely, indeed, you guys dominated, but certainly yourself. I'm thinking about the sim centers as well. you know, Kevin was saying it all comes down to practice and stuff like that, but certainly that sounds like a good reason to book a bit more time at your local sim center. Certainly you guys representing Pixel Speed. Yourself, obviously racing from there tonight. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the venue in particular?
The venue is a pretty chill place, conveniently at the heart of a very busy population of food vendors, you know, a lot of stuff. So you can always go ahead and walk down to the nearest area that you want, grab a drink or a snack, and you're right there, you're back at the venue, and we're friendly to open for the entire public, for that way they can either go ahead and watch, which we got a lovely couch right there with a massive TV. Check out their favorite Twitch streamers or YouTube streamers and the YouTube videos, replays, highlights of real life races. The venue is incredibly chill, just like that. It is very friendly, very easy to walk around, friendly to everybody who's interested in sim racing. You can come on over and check us out, and we'll hook you up and get you on one of the rigs, and hopefully let you get into an investment on iRacing or just sim racing in general, and we can help you out with all that stuff. And interest, if you want to form your own rig at home, you can go ahead and do so, and Pixel Speed will help you out with that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to write an advert because Edwin's just done it for us. Absolutely stellar job indeed. Second place today, and indeed representing Pixel Speed. They were able to get the P1 and indeed the P2. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the driver. The number 10 car is Edwin Onofre. Did I say your name right?
Yes, Edwin Onofre. That is correct.
Onofre. I was close. I'll take it. Certainly, thank you, Edwin, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, dear. Well, ideally, we would want to speak to Ryan right now, but Ryan Henneflin is currently not present. Ladies and gentlemen, has anybody been able to locate him? Because we're certainly looking for him.
At Pixel Speed in the chat, you're absolutely right. Edwin is, I mean, if he doesn't have a contract as the spokesperson for Pixel Speed, we might want to write one up for Edwin there after that spiel. That was well said.
Well, certainly, Morgan, if you want to pick one more driver, take an interview. I don't mind who you pick. It doesn't have to be in the general. You can indeed take somebody from the race chat as well. Your choice.
Let's do Matthew Baker.
All right. All yours, sir, as you were.
Matthew Baker, are you there with us?
Yes, sir, I am.
Good evening. How was your... Oh, just like that, he's gone.
Get back here.
Welcome back, Matt. So I personally was very excited to see Lamborghini out there, and I know that you did have some aggressive moves here and there, and you were part of some good battles throughout the course of the 40-minute races. How do you think the Lamborghini is going to hold up this season, and how did you think it did tonight at Spa for you?
I mean, I have absolutely no idea how it did. I was kind of mentally out of it after the turn one debacle. So it was just making it through the race, and we'll just go on to next week and see how we can do next week and actually see how it will hold up. I could definitely tell I'm in the minority here. I didn't really know what car was the best or what car was the worst. I'm more of an oval guy myself, so just came in here, picked the car I liked, the one that sounded the best in my personal opinion, and see how it went. So we'll have to see how it does next week. Really couldn't get a judge on anything this week. Wasn't around anybody, didn't really see anybody except for a couple of people in the back. But we'll just have to see how it does next week.
Absolutely. What do you think really is the driving factor in an incident like that in turn one? It's not always the case at Spa. Usually it's up through the hill that there's the incident. So turn one, maybe just a little bit jitters. Do you think people are being a little bit greedy and trying to dive? What do you think's going on there?
I think it's just lack of respect on both sides, right? If someone dive bombs you, instead of just turning into it, you might just have to give it up. It's just how it goes sometimes. You get put in bad spots all the time in racing, and it's just what makes a good driver from a person who drives cars is the person who could do the best while being put in a bad position. That guy dive bombs you, he sticks the nose in, and if you turn in on him, you're both gonna wreck, right? Should he be there? Probably not. Is he there? Yeah. So you're gonna have to make a decision, and you're gonna have to deal with it the best you can. And it just looks like some people got on the inside of some other people, and they just weren't expecting it, and they weren't ready for it. They turned in on them, and we just got caught up in a wreck that really wasn't our fault. But I mean, it's just like I said, it's just what makes a good race car driver is going to be the people who can do the most out of a bad situation. Just because somebody's made a mistake and they put you in a bad spot, you're just going to have to deal with it and do the best you can. And I just think people weren't ready, for that level of aggression in turn one, and we saw what happened.
Absolutely. So You know, mistakes or not, without putting any names on anything, that was, you know, a learning experience always, every GT race, for me, especially from start to finish. So I'm sure turn one's no different. And as you know, there's always a turn one next week to jump right into. Sounds like you got a real good head on your shoulders as far as the racecraft and the mind you're taking to the racetrack with your racecraft. So I expect to get some good results out of your Lamborghini, and we're excited to see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes next week.
Perfect. Thanks so much for your time. Have a good evening.
All right, you too.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was indeed Mr. Matthew Baker. It's certainly an absolute pleasure here to be here on Pit Road Productions for the debut season of the Shop versus Shop series. I gotta say, it has some absolutely phenomenal racing. GT3s generally just promote that, but certainly taking a field of drivers that, you know, racing in sim centers, they might not necessarily have a sim of their own yet, ladies and gentlemen. Yet they're gonna end up wanting to buy one. I got bit. I test drove the Mercedes AMG at Daytona, getting ready for the 24 at a colleague's house. And 6 years later, ladies and gentlemen, you ended up with Pit Road Productions. Well, 4 years later, you ended up with Pit Road Productions and me here in the broadcasting booth. It's fair to say I'm a better commentator than I am a driver. But I got to say, this is just about going to wrap up the show, at least for this week, ladies and gentlemen. We would love to speak to even more of you. And certainly, but let's give a shout out as well. It looked like the Flow State drivers making the best appearance there in the race chat. What we can do for you guys is we can make a Flow State chat, we can make a Oasis Sim chat, Pixel Speed, and so on and so forth. We can make one for each of you. By all means, we'd love to see you use it, and would be able to talk to all of you drivers as well. But a huge shout out goes to Oasis Sim Racing as well. They've been the backbone of organising this. Reed Lincoln for reaching out to me. A huge thank you to you, and certainly to his general manager Wyatt, who has without a doubt worked very hard to make all this come together. And certainly at times it was definitely a little bit tense. Indeed, a huge shout out to you, sir. But thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. By all means, hit that subscribe button, share this all over your social media. That's not going to upset us. That's going to make us happy, ladies and gentlemen. We want to see you having fun and getting the most out of the show you possibly can. But thank you very much for watching. My name is Daniel Zippy Salmon, and joining me in the production booth today, the one and only Mr. Morgan Smith. We'll see you next time here on Pit Road Productions.